Cassie Laundrie was questioned about any information she has on her brother, Brian Laundrie, and the Gabby Petito case. She displayed 3 behavior clues that suggest that the Laundries are a narcissistic family and she has been the scapegoat all this time. Welcome back, my body language buddies. My name is Jesus Enrique Rosas. I'm the body language guy, and it would be great if you join us by just liking this video, subscribing, and hitting that bell. Let's get down to it. This improvised interview happened because there have been constant protests outside Cassie's house, since according to the media she had said that she had not seen Brian since he came back home. And this is not true because Brian, her parents, and herself went camping together the day before everything hit the news. Now, the first thing that she does is defend herself with a plain statement. She never said that she hadn't seen him because she went with him camping. What she literally said was this:
I haven't been able to talk to him. I wish I could talk to him.
I haven't been able to talk to him. I wish I could talk to him. That's all that she says. But this was understood like she hadn't seen Brian since he came back with Gabby's band, when in fact it was implied by the media because we never got to hear it directly from her. She claims that she was talking about after the news of Gabby's disappearance broke.
We have fully cooperated with the police since September 11th when they called. I did not say that I saw my brother. I said I haven't been able to speak to him in reference to the time when I was called by the police. Since that point, I haven't been able to speak to my brother.
Well, the media spinning one sentence out of context is something that happens all the time, so I'm going to give her the benefit of the doubt this time. Also, she speaks in a calm tone, in an open posture, and it doesn't look like she's up to any confrontation, even if the people who was asking these questions were very heated. It seems that she genuinely wants to set the record straight. But what really caught my attention is that she casually mentioned things that are consistent with people that are the scapegoat inside a narcissistic family. And this happens when inside a family, one of the parents is a malignant narcissist, the other parent is an enabler, or the one that justifies the narcissist's behavior, and one of the siblings gets the hard end of the stick. They are the scapegoat that receive all punishments, unfair treatment, humiliation, and more. Sometimes there's also a golden child that are the ones that no matter what they do, they get all the rewards, the praise, and are justified in all their actions. It's fairly common that the older siblings become scapegoats and the younger siblings become golden childs. And I think the Laundries fit that description, being Cassie the scapegoat and Brian the golden one. And I already pointed out all the signals that Brian is a narcissist and emotionally abused Gabby. And the first signal of this family situation is how Cassie cannot really account for her brother. Let's hear the hardest question up front. Do you think that Brian killed Gabby?
Well, based off all the stuff on the internet, do you think Brian killed Gabby?
I don't know. The internet is the internet. I don't know.
She answers that she doesn't know with a very clear voice and emphasizing every word. This is important because it's one of the few moments when she speaks truly convinced of what she's saying, and the fact that she says that she doesn't know is the first signal that she wants to take a step back from having anything to do with Brian's actions. The classical answer to this kind of questions is deflecting with something like, I don't think my brother is capable of this, or even a simple no. And in healthy family dynamics, an older sister is usually protective of her little brother, so she could at least give him the benefit of the doubt. But that doesn't happen here. Saying I don't know is a way of withdrawal. It's like you're asking the wrong person, I don't have anything to do with him. What's more, when she's asked what does she remember from her brother when he was in middle school, she answered this.
What was your brother like when he was in middle school and a teenager? What was he like?
I didn't live in the house at the time.
Okay, you might not be living at your parents' house, you're living on your own, but that doesn't have to be the reason you don't know how your brother did at school. When you love your brother, when you love your sister, you stay in touch, you think about them, want to know about them, and if you don't live with them, there's always the telephone. The fact that she's the older sibling and that she avoided that question is another signal that she was a scapegoat in that family and really wasn't interested in how the golden child was doing, since most probably her parents were spoiling him. Now the question, have you seen Brian hit Gabby?
Have you ever seen Brian hit Gabby?
No.
Have you ever seen Brian hit Gabby?
No.
This question doesn't really lead anywhere because there can be abuse without physical violence. But notice the change in tone when she is asked, have you seen them fight?
Have you ever seen them fight?
No.
Have you ever seen them fight?
No.
Do you notice that she answers no, but at the same time she lowers her voice? And these guys making the questions, it seems that they don't have much experience with interrogation techniques. But even so, they picked up that and asked the question again.
And you've never seen them fight? No argue? No?
They, of course, you know, we bicker,
But nothing.
everybody bickers, but nothing like what any, like, no
Nothing that would
domestic
constitute
anything.
domestic violence.
No, yes, or else we would have done something about it.
This time she answers that, well, yes, they had arguments from time to time, something that is normal for any couple and nothing out of the ordinary. But then she says this about domestic violence.
I don't stand for that. I was in a bad relationship similar to that what's saying has happened. I wouldn't let that happen.
And that's yet another clue that the Laundries are a toxic family, because both women and men that have been raised in narcissistic environments tend to fall in narcissistic relationships that can lead to domestic abuse. Again, there's not one clue that can lead to conclusions, but it's a slow build-up of a series of clues that fit the theory of what's going on with this family. Now, about how the Laundrie's lawyer protects the parents and Brian, but not her, that's isolation. The family lawyer made a statement with absolutely no regard for what she had already said. It was the lawyer's statements that caused the protest in front of Casey's house, calling her a liar. And the lawyer could have easily prevented this, coming forward and saying that she was misinterpreted by the media. And since she affirms that her parents' lawyer threw her under the bus, and at the same time her parents won't talk to her, then it also fits with a narcissistic family that is scrambling to protect the golden child. I wouldn't be surprised that the lawyer making a statement to make her look like a liar to spark protests in front of her house was a plan from her parents to draw attention away from themselves and Brian. After all, that's how scapegoats are treated. And notice how she talks when she mentions the lawyer's actions.
I'm getting ignored by my family and thrown under the bus by my family's attorney.
She lowers her voice again. She's afraid. There's no reason for her to not be upset and speak in a full tone, like when she said that she didn't know if Brian had killed Gabby. When you've suffered abuse for many years, you find it really hard to point your finger at your abusers or the people that work for them, because no matter how much time has passed or how far away do you live, you still fear the consequences. And that's confirmed when she's asked if she thinks that her parents are involved.
Why your parents? Why your parents? You're talking about
But
Christmas.
they're not talking to us either.
Why aren't they talking to you guys?
If I knew, I would say. I don't know.
Do you think they're involved, your parents?
I don't know. No.
Do you think they're involved, your parents?
I don't know.
She lowers her voice again. Now listen to her answer when they ask her if she thinks that Brian is still alive.
I don't know if I asked before, but do you think he's alive?
I hope so.
You hope so? I don't know if I asked before, but do you think he's alive?
I hope so.
You hope so?
After all the answers she's given this far, what do you think she felt at that moment? I'd love to read your opinions in the comments. Now we've gone this far and have a good idea of how Cassie feels about her family. Everything that she says fits with the fact that her parents are protecting Brian at all costs and simply don't care about her. But then that doesn't fit with them going camping together to have dinner like a happy family right before the search for Gabby began. And I find it a real stretch that she claims that she did not ask Brian about Gabby or her name never came up.
What did Brian say anything about Gabby?
We had our kids there. Nothing came up.
He didn't say anything about Gabby.
No, we've told the
were-
FBI everything.
So your brother has been traveling the States for months with a girl that you call your sister, a girl that your children love, and you did not mention her upon seeing your brother again? Nah, women don't work that way. There are some inconsistencies in Cassie's statements. For example, she says that her sons consider Gabby as an aunt, but at the same time she says that she and her brother didn't talk that much. That's not something that makes much sense. But what she has described fits very well with a narcissistic family, of which, well, she doesn't look like she wants to do anything with them at all. Don't forget to download my 100 body language tips right in the description of this video. And for quicker updates on body language and related topics, follow me on Instagram and Twitter. Take care, my body language buddies.